In today's video, I'm going to share with you the importance of nitric oxide therapy and how it can reduce your risk for a stroke. Just recently, two famous people in the movie industry died from a stroke. One was the actor Luke Perry, the other was the director John Singleton. Luke Perry was 52, John Singleton was 51. Yet according to the National Stroke Association, up to 80% of strokes can be prevented. Hi, I'm Sid Milch, an 83-year-old Army veteran. I'm part of the Million Lives Project. Our goal is to help 1 million people or more understand how this Nobel Prize-winning information can be a natural way to address most cardiovascular concerns. Now, I want to go back to what I just said because it's too important to pass by. According to the National Stroke Association, up to 80% of strokes can be prevented. Here are some sobering statistics. About 140,000 Americans are killed each year by a stroke. That's 1 out of every 20 deaths. Someone in the United States has a stroke every 40 seconds. And every year, more than 795,000 people in the United States have a stroke. For those that do not die, the vast majority of them live the rest of their lives disabled, which impacts them and their loved ones. So how do you reduce your risk? Let's start by looking at the controllable risk factors associated with a stroke. They are high blood pressure, arterial fibrillation, high cholesterol, diabetes, atherosclerosis, tobacco use and smoking, alcohol use, physical inactivity. Each one of these controllable risk factors either directly or indirectly damages the most important tissue of your entire cardiovascular system. The tissue is called the endothelium. It's the largest secreting tissue in your entire body, yet it's only 1 cell thick. It lines the inside of your heart, the inside of all your arteries and arterioles, veins, and venules are lined by this tissue. Their capillaries are just extensions of the endothelium. In fact, this tissue and its ability to create nitric oxide is so important to your health that at the 1998 Nobel Prize in Medicine was awarded to 3 American researchers who discovered how the endothelium converts the amino acid L-arginine into nitric oxide, the master signaling molecule of your entire cardiovascular system. Now let's look at how these controllable risk factors affect your endothelium. High blood pressure directly damages the endothelium. Arterial fibrillation can lead to blood clots, which are the leading cause of strokes. Nitric oxide can directly address this issue, and we'll talk more about this in just a little bit. High cholesterol directly damages the endothelium. Diabetes, high blood sugar directly damages the endothelium. Atherosclerosis are plaque formations that narrow the interior of your vascular artery and are typically caused by damage done to the endothelium. Tobacco use and smoking, nicotine directly damages the endothelium, especially the endothelium of the heart and surrounding coronary arteries. Alcohol use can lead to damage done to the endothelium. Physical inactivity reduces nitric oxide production, which is necessary in stroke prevention. As you can see, each one of these controllable risk factors either directly or indirectly damages the endothelium to reduce its ability to properly produce nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is so important to your cardiovascular health that the 1998 Nobel laureate in medicine, Dr. Louis J. Ignarro, wrote the national bestseller called No More Heart Disease. I'd like to focus on the subtitle of this book. It says how nitric oxide can prevent, even reverse heart disease and strokes. To emphasize this point, I'd like to read 2 short quotes from Dr. Ignarro's book. Here's the first one. 2 of NO's critical functions, preventing the formation of blood clots and keeping the arteries free of plaque work specifically against the occurrence of stroke. We'll look at this in greater detail in just a little bit, especially after we read this second quote from Dr. Ignarro. Now we know we can reverse cardiovascular impairment naturally with the body's internally manufactured wonder drug, nitric oxide. The health of your endothelium and its ability to properly produce therapeutic levels of nitric oxide are critical to cardiovascular health and can substantially reduce your risk for a stroke. In fact, let's narrow this whole issue of stroke even further. The number one risk factor for a stroke is high blood pressure. It is estimated that if you have high blood pressure, you increase your stroke risk by a factor of 4 to 6 times. Additionally, the number one cause of a stroke is a blood clot formation that lodges in a vascular artery. According to the American Heart Association, 87% of all strokes are caused when a blood clot forms in the bloodstream. This blood clot then lodges within an artery of the brain, causing a blockage. This blockage reduces the necessary blood flow to that section of the brain, leading to damage or death to those brain cells. The amount of damage determines the severity of the stroke. Both of these issues, high blood pressure and blood clot formations, result predominantly from endothelial cell dysfunction and its inability to properly produce nitric oxide. This information helps us to clearly identify 3 keys to substantially reducing the risk for a stroke. They are controlling blood pressure, preventing blood clots, reversing endothelial cell dysfunction. So here's how nitric oxide directly addresses each of these keys. First, nitric oxide is your body's most powerful vasodilator. What this means is that nitric oxide causes the smooth muscle of your vascular wall to relax, which helps to keep your blood pressure in a normal range. That would directly benefit our first key of controlling blood pressure and directly address the most important controllable risk factor for a stroke. Second, nitric oxide keeps blood platelet cells from sticking together to naturally prevent blood clots. This would reduce the number one cause of strokes and directly address our second key, which is preventing blood clots. Third, nitric oxide helps to repair damage done to the endothelium and keep it free from plaque formations and calcification. According to the American Heart Association, 74% of all cardiovascular disease is related to plaque formations and calcification or hardening of the artery. Proper levels of nitric oxide help to prevent both of these issues, and it directly addresses the last key of helping to reverse endothelial cell dysfunction. This means that improving the health of your endothelium and its ability to create nitric oxide can have a profound effect in reducing your risk for a stroke. If you're interested in the product I use to help enjoy the benefits of nitric oxide, then please visit my page on the Million Lives Project website. The link is below at the beginning of the description. This page contains additional videos on how nitric oxide therapy can naturally address high blood pressure, diabetic complications, erectile dysfunction, cognitive function, wound healing, help for Black Americans, and even athletic performance. Plus, at the bottom of this page are links to purchase this product. If you would like more information about the Million Lives Project and how we're helping our family and friends improve their cardiovascular health, then please click on the link below. Or call me directly at 810-347-2364 or send me an email at s.milch@comcast.net. Join me in this worthy mission. Together we can help our loved ones reclaim their good cardiovascular health.